Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, do we really need to do courses? And this has come up for me because over the last few weeks, I've joined actually a few of these free trial courses to look at them and consider whether one of them was missold to me, but the other one was very clearly sold as a trial. And I've been having some thoughts about this. It's probably brought thoughts up in me that the people didn't really want that were trying to sell me the courses. But I started thinking to myself, do we really need courses? Now, out of the courses that I did, there was different types of courses. So one of them was very much actual learning. And I really thought I learned a lot about NLP and psychology. And I did actually consider that course. I just don't know if it's quite what I want right now, but I found it to actually be kind of a concrete learning course, which is obviously very different to some of the other growth motivational courses where I didn't really personally feel like I was learning anything. It was more just that motivating, just do it, here's my personal story kind of thing. And I'm probably not really a person that needs that because I am very much the kind of person, if I feel something, I do just do it. I probably need a bit more help with, I was thinking I needed a bit more help with concrete marketing. But then I actually thought, but do I? Do I actually need to market myself is in such a deliberate way other than just creating stuff and putting it out there into the world? Because maybe I'm just not good enough. And I'm not saying that from a wounded place or a blocked place, but maybe I am just not good enough if I am not, attracting a large audience of people that want to jump on and watch my videos or buy my stuff. And that is perfectly understandable because, for example, with this YouTube channel, I was very on and off. And I've only really kind of thought about putting any real growth into it over the last maybe few months because probably of my own personal blocks in a more spiritual sense that I wasn't really ready to deal with a large audience and I purposely didn't want to attract it. So, and then my travel channel, I've only been doing for a few months as well. And I mean, I consider that I'm still in that phase of really learning how to create, how to edit, how to speak properly, how to make videos. I consider myself very new in those areas. Do I really need to get me testing and working stuff out there to the world? Because I find a lot of people that do courses, they haven't even started yet. They're almost kind of going to the course to get started. And I think, do we really need a course to kind of get started? I mean, maybe some people feel they do. And I'm simply offering some questions to ponder. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't do courses. Obviously, it's up to individuals whether they do or don't do courses. But my brain started to go down the route of, and with my art, when people really want to buy it, they're going to buy it, right? And me sharing it is probably enough. And I do think there's a lot to do. So I do think two things are really synonymous to growth, and that's consistency and starting, right? If you have blocks around those two things, you probably aren't really going to get anywhere. Well, consistency, starting, and energy, those three things. So if you have blocks in those three things, then I do think you probably need help or some direction. But I think that's more on looking and removing those blockages than it is just going out there and marketing. But the thing with consistency is it can actually do those things for you. So although you can go and get the help and probably do it a little bit quicker, consistency probably will simply help you in those areas anyway. Because say you have a real block around being an artist, if you just keep doing it, not only will you get better, you'll start to believe in yourself more. Bit by bit, you'll get the positive comment, and eventually you're gonna feel you're an artist. I mean, I've already built a career in photography. I just don't want to do it anymore. But I really saw that as I was building my career in photography, I just did it. That is what I did. I just did it. And then when I got better, people approached me, or if I sent an email, they just wanted to see me. And then I got an agent, and then she went out and got my work for me. I don't really ever remember sort of promoting my photography particularly heavily online to move up the chain. And when I look at everybody that I think of as being really successful, and I'm thinking YouTubers, artists, who's one of the most successful artists of our current time? It's Damien Hirst, probably. You might hate him, you might like him, but he is probably our generation's, along with him and Banksy, right, are probably the two most known, talked about artists of recent times. And do you think they did courses on how to become successful? I don't think they did. I mean, I've never ever heard them talk about it when I've seen interviews. They just simply trial and errored, and they did it, right? And eventually they kind of got there. And I think what a lot of these courses are people wanting to sort of fast track making quick and easy money. And that's quite obvious to me, because some people haven't even started a business. They haven't even started honing and crafting their skills, and they're already wanting to market it. And is that really the way it works? So are we supposed to hone a craft? It kind of markets itself, build some traction, and then we can spend that money on developing and furthering it and maybe go into some courses. And when you look at all the big YouTubers, even the ones now offering courses, they didn't do courses. They certainly didn't do courses in the beginning. Once they'd made a bit of money, they went and did some add-on courses. But they really just got on, messed around, and worked it out themselves. In the majority of cases, that's how people got big in art, how people got big on YouTube. They either had some good connections that they utilized, or they just did it basically, and worked through it and worked through the blocks until they felt confident enough. No one's going to be good at making videos when they first start. That initial period is for us learning how to make videos, learning how to come across on camera, sort of just really honing our craft. And it just seems kind of a bit weird, actually, when I sit back and think about it, to look at advertising when I've not even really started honing my craft in certain areas, and I think a lot can be done organically. And I do think a lot of these courses are simply people wanting to make money, because when they probably look back at their own journey, they probably didn't do courses in the early stages to get going. And they tell you that it's a shortcut, but are there really any shortcuts? Can we really shortcut stuff? Or is it really just about consistently doing? And money and love are those kind of two basic needs for happiness, really, that nearly everybody wants, right? Nearly everybody wants to experience love and have enough money that they feel free and they don't have to worry and struggle. So they're very easy hooks to get people to spend on. Do this and you'll have the love of your life. Do this, and they're very easy ways for people to take money from you. And then the other reason I think there's so many courses is because there's so many people now that want to do something without having kind of a fixed job, which is cool. I get it. I've always lived my life like that, so I definitely can't say anything about that. But I feel like the barrier to entry now is so low. It's so low in everything. When I first started photography, it was a really big investment. You had to really invest in a camera, Photoshop. You had to really learn how to use Photoshop. It took a long time to kind of build your portfolio, and then you had to sign on with an agent. It was a real process to get going as a photographer. Now the barrier to entry is so low because pretty much anyone can afford a camera. You can buy Photoshop for £8 a month now. It's also so much easier to use because there's tools like Content Fill, and you can even have AI fill out sections of your image. Totally different world. It's made it super easy, right? A very low barrier to entry, and this is across the whole spectrum. So writing a book is a very low barrier to entry. In the old days, you would have had to have actually gotten it published. Now I see two sides of this, right? On the one side, isn't it amazing? Power to the people. You no longer have to wait on a publishing agent to take you on. You can actually self-publish. You can get your book out there. The negative side is there's a lot of competition. So now we're just absolutely flooded with people that want to put content out. And a lot of it's very early on. So someone's done something for a week. Oh, I can put some content out. Some people don't even know anything. They just use AI to write books and then pop that content out. So we are in a marketplace where, because the barrier to entry is so low, that the market is absolutely flooded. So you're now, and this is, I think, why all these courses have popped up, because to get seen, because the barrier to entry is just so low, we are now absolutely swamped with information and swamped with creators, some of who are not even real, they are just AI creators. And that really low barrier to entry it's the age of the course now as well, the age of the teaching people how to do this stuff. And like I said, a lot of these people haven't even gotten an idea for a business yet. They haven't even started honing their craft, and they're just straight on how to advertise it, how to do it. And I wonder who is really winning in this? Are the content creators winning, or are these course leaders winning? And how much do we really need courses? Is it just that times have changed and now we need them more because there's so many people? Or is it that maybe we never really needed courses? We just needed to become more of ourselves and more of who we are, and just create every day and just allow the universe to fill in. I mean, I know for myself that whenever I just sit and I do something really purely because I'm passionate about it and I love it, people approach me and they want to buy it. And then as soon as I start worrying and tightening up and fearing or trying too hard, I actually repel it. A lot of it is energy, and I don't know if we always need a course. I believe that the main thing that's needed to be successful is, like I said, consistency, but it's not the actual consistency. It's that consistency is helping us to become more authentic and hone our crafts. I personally believe one of the best ways to grow and to become successful is to actually be really authentic. And I saw this a lot when I was doing photography. I saw people that didn't commercialize themselves and they held really true to their vision, mostly because they didn't have financial pressures, to be honest, really suddenly shone at some point, because they really were just being authentic to themselves, and they were consistently working until they honed their craft and they got better at what they were doing, and they grew in their authenticity and confidence. Like, is that not just a natural process when we commit to consistently doing something? Do we always have to have somebody holding our hand the whole way through and telling us to, all these tips and tricks? And I don't believe, when I look at any big successful people, that they actually did the courses themselves early on in their journeys. Please tell me if I'm wrong and let me know some people that actually did, but I can't think of anybody myself when I've read interviews. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think courses are worth it? Or do you think that actually it's a journey that we should just trial and error, we should go wrong, we should make mistakes, and we should just keep working until we are self-marketing, because people just want our stuff and we don't have to try and kind of force them to have it. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll speak soon. Bye bye.